What's up? Got this four-wheeler is an ongoing project, which is fine. These projects aren't major. I can get them done with my bum arm. Although my arm's getting better, my shoulder's made a lot of improvement, but I've still got a ways to go, especially before I can go back to work. So I can pedal in the shop, as long as it isn't over 5 pounds. So here's my issue. That four-wheeler I got was an ES model, electronic shift, okay? So what that means is it doesn't have a manual shifter like regular four-wheelers do. It does have an emergency backup shifter that you can use, and it comes from the factory with a little crappy arm that you can put on that, but it's junky and I don't want to, and definitely it's not big enough to use. So I went aftermarket, since I'm converting it over to manual shift, and bought one of these. Problem is, it's still not right, still not good enough. The reason being is, with a regular manual shifter, you have, I think it's either 14 or 28 splines. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But with that many splines, you can adjust your shifter pretty much where you want it. All you got to do is click one spline this way or 2 splines the other way, and it doesn't move the shifter that much, but it moves it to a position that's good for you. The problem with going from ES shifter to a manual shifter is the fact that your emergency shift shaft that you put your factory emergency shifter on is a hex. Well, that provides for another problem. Well, with the hex, you can only go so far with each adjustment. Each flat is going to take you a long way. And the problem that I'm having with it is, as you can see, hex shift, or hex shaft. I can't get it adjusted down far enough to where I want it, and I can kick it up easy with my toe. If I go one flat forward, it's too low and I can't downshift. If I go one flat back, it's certainly not going to do it, because then I ain't even going to be able to get to it. So it puts it in an oddball position, and I actually have to lift my leg up to change gears with it. So I've thought about it. Now, I did put me a little extension on the back of this thing, as you can see, and I just now cut it off. It wasn't exactly where I wanted it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this thing over to a hand shift. I'm not racing, I'm not mud bogging and stuff. I'm just putting around the farm. Move this over here, move that over there. Let's go deer hunting. We'll go get the deer out, take some corn in, take stuff like that. I'm not sitting there raw dogging it where I got to have both hands on the handlebars and just slamming gears. That's just not for me. So I think I'm going to convert this over to a hand shifter, like the old suicide shifters on motorcycles. And I got a bunch of old deer stands and shit laying around, and I think I got a perfect couple of pieces of metal for this, and we're going to see how it works. Let's go outside and let's see what I got laying out there behind the barn. Whoop, wrong side. There we go. Let's see what we got here amongst the scrap pile. I think, yep, that's exactly what I think I'm going to use. These old stands here, these won't never see any use again. But I believe that piece of metal right there is going to work perfect for what I want it. I think it'll make a good enough hand shifter. It'll be light enough where it won't hit a bump and shift itself, but it'll be stiff enough where I can shift it. And if I break it, hey, look, there's another one down there. All right, let's get this thing apart and start working on this. Well, this is going to be pretty daggone simple here. There's my bar. I got a piece of angle iron here. I'm going to weld that to that. Then I'm going to weld the angle iron to the top of the shifter. That simple. Then I'm going to cut this down to the length that I need it and put me a handle of some sort on top. And where I plan on putting this is going to leave me plenty of clearance. So it should be good. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe it vibrating out because of the extra weight. Maybe, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, that's going to be my shifter. I think that'll work just fine. I believe that's going to work right there. And remember, folks, when you're doing anything to the inside of angle iron, relieve your corners so everything will lay straight flat. If you don't, and you just blindly clamp it in there, you're going to be off. You'll be kicked out. So relieve those corners, contour them, and they'll lay right in there. Now here's what I came up with. Pretty simple. Just weld it to the top of the shifter. I had to notch it, put a bend right there. And guess what I found in my toolbox? A shifter. So all I did was find a bolt that threaded up into the shifter, right? Welded it onto the end of it, and lo and behold, son of a gun timed itself to where the gear pattern's in the right position. I did load those threads down with some JB weld, so they won't come off, but that's about as simple as it gets. Let's put it on there. I've already sort of kind of tested it. Let's put it on there, sit on there, crank it up, and put it in and out of gear. See how she runs. All right, she's on there. Looks like the position is going to be good. Well, that's going to be enough clearance for my big old thunder thighs. Let's get up here and crank her up. See what she's going to do. She doesn't seem like she's going to really be in the way. All right, we in first. Let's knock her down to neutral. In neutral. Worked just fine. Alright. First. Yeah, that worked. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Oh man, that's gonna work good. Back down to neutral. Oh yeah. And take her back off. I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on her, and she's good to go. I like that. All right, we're gonna field test her tomorrow. All right. We went and field tested this morning. We could not video it. It was raining, and I don't have any way to keep my cameras dry. I'm a cheapo. I don't get no money off of this stuff. I buy the cheapest cameras I can get, and they are not waterproof. So, it is what it is. Worked great, did exactly what I wanted it to do, and I ain't gonna have any problem out of it. It clears my leg. I went around, put it around, pulled some cards, checked some stands, scattered another stand, and also looked at where what crops are going to go in. So, my little hand shifter, I'm pretty darn sure I ain't the first person to ever make one, but that's how I made mine. It works just fine. Y'all have a good one. Now I've got some honeydew stuff to do. Y'all be good. Later on.